Okay, so I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. So, over the last few episodes, several episodes, I think now, because it's kind of a mantra of mine in my general life, is to be gentle with yourselves. Be gentle with yourself. I need to be gentle with myself. And I know it's really buzzy to talk about that, how we need to remember to be gentle with ourselves. But what does that even mean? What does it even look like? I was trying to figure out how on earth to demonstrate what that looks like for you when I realized the best way that I could show that to you is to use some of my real life examples of how I've been gentle with myself when I've totally messed up and missed the mark and made mistakes over this lockdown. So, what better way to do this than to share with you my top 10 most embarrassing mistakes that I've made so far during the first 2 weeks of lockdown? Okay, here we go. Hi, Melissa Dillon here to interrupt the show real quick to let you know that the second edition of our COVID-19 Ultimate Family Plan has now been released. Go to raisingkindness.org to download your copy of the second edition, which is packed with a step-by-step guide to helping you find clarity and calm in your routine going into the second week of the lockdown period. Also, a huge list of resources to help you through gaining that clarity and calm that you're seeking, and also homeschooling your children, managing work, all that stuff. So please go to raisingkindness.org and download your copy of the second edition today. Now, let's dive into the show. We're replacing the More Time Loving Mom Life show right now with support to get you through this, feeling like you're continuing to thrive in a life that you love with your kids. Let's do this. Okay, so this is going to be super fun. This is going to be a countdown list, and the list includes things like little business obsessions that were getting in the way of my balanced zen during this period of time. There are family things, mistakes that I felt that I made with our little one and our kids, personal self-care mistakes, you name it, I've made the mistake over the last 2 weeks. So what I'm going to do is start with number 10 and work down to the most embarrassing one, which is number 1, and I'm going to save that to the end. So stick around to the end. Number 10 is between the days 4 and 12 of lockdown, I was obsessed with the numbers on the show. Number of downloads, how many of you have listened, how much our audience has grown, how many people have downloaded the guide, because I'm here for you. I'm not here for myself. I'm here for you. And I get so pumped and so excited. And the audience has grown so much. And I've just been so grateful about it. So then last night I was talking my husband's ear off about it, or this was rather 2 nights ago, talking my husband's ear off. It was like, oh, did you know that we went 5 times more? Whatever. I'm not going to go into all the details. But it was like every 3 minutes I was going in during this 15-minute period. And I wasn't even self-aware that I was doing this. Every 3 minutes, giving him a new stat, a new number. And then finally, at first he's like, great job, babe. That's awesome. Yay. So many people you're helping. Then finally, like the 5th time that I walked into the garage while he was tending to some cleaning up in his little man cave, he's all, you better look at it one more time to get another hit of that dopamine. And I'm all, oh, he totally got me. And then I had to cease doing that, because it's so easy, right? When you're like, yay, I'm seeing progress in my project. Do you guys have any projects that are like that, where you're like kind of finding yourself a little more obsessed because you're at home and it's like, what else are we going to think about? But anyway, so that's number 10. Number 9 is I let myself procrastinate. So I let myself procrastinate on exercises too many days in a row and became crazy amped at least twice between the first week and the second week. So have you guys been there where you're like, oh my goodness, my body's so amped and I'm not doing anything about it? And then you realize afterward, you're like, wait, I haven't exercised in 3 days. No wonder why I'm so amped. So that's happened a couple of times. So if you're beating yourself up because you're missing your workouts, don't worry, my friend, just get back on that train and start working out. So that's number 9. Okay, number 8, I rolled straight out of bed and brewed coffee and went straight to work on days 2 to 5. I was so excited about diving into the project and breathing life into Raising Kindness in this podcast and supporting families who are struggling right now and supporting parents and kind of like teaching myself some lessons in the process, that on days 2 to 5 of the lockdown, I wasn't even taking care of myself. I wasn't eating breakfast. I was hoping that Bodhi would stay in bed. I was hoping my husband would stay in bed and I'd get some good time in. But really fast, that was not sustainable. I was exhausted. I was cranky. I felt that, and you'll notice in some of my other numbers that um, there was seriously a pattern going on days 2 to 5 where it's like I just wasn't with it. And I really had to turn things around. So once I recognized it, I stopped doing that. I went straight to meditation in the morning time. Okay. Number 7 is at least on 3 occasions, I didn't brush my teeth for the first time of the day till after 1 p.m. And like 4 days ago, it wasn't until 4. It was so gross. It was so gross. Have you guys been there where you're like, ew, my teeth have this grimy, yucky film. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. I didn't brush my teeth. Yeah, so that happened at least 3 times. It was gross. All right, so where are we at? Number 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yo, yeah. All right, I've got some good ones. This is when they start to get a little grosser too. So on days 7 to 12, I gave into cravings for adult drinks, and at least twice I said the phrase, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere." Yeah. So on days 7 to 12, I kind of gave into these needs of wanting an adult beverage pretty quick. And I would wake up in the morning and go, oh, that sounds good. That sounds like a really refreshing, I want a refreshing beverage. And it was just, I was kind of obsessing about it. So finally, a few days ago, I realized that was happening. I'm like, no. So I put myself on detox. So it's like all good. Made a couple mistakes and drank a little too much on this with the stress level heightened and scaled it back. And then number 5 is on days 8 to 12. I caught myself spending a lot more time on social media than necessary. So this one, I'm never on Facebook. I'm never on social media, mostly because I have so much social time with the kids and my students and parents and teachers and stuff Monday through Friday during regular business hours that by the time I get home, and my son doesn't want me to be on the phone, and I don't want to be on the phone either. We just spend a lot of our family time. But lately, because we're all cooped up and on lockdown, I mean, I was holding myself up just to get me some good Facebook time in. So I've been putting myself on detox for that too. Notice the pattern of all the bad habits that were ensuing come week 2. It's been the week 2, I think, out of the 2 weeks was the most challenging for me, that's for sure. Number 4 is I locked my family out of the office on day 3 and overprotected my work time on day 1. So this one is embarrassing to me because I felt that I was a little bit too crass about protecting my work time, especially in the first couple of days when my husband and I created a routine for ourselves. And when you go to raisingkindness.org and download the Ultimate Family Guide, it includes the exact blueprint of what we did. And the first time that we created our plan, it wasn't the right plan for us. And I started to become very like, this is not working and I need to lock the door because clearly you guys don't understand. I need to work right now. And I was kind of rude about it. And I was really embarrassed about that. But I talked about it with my family and we revised the plan and we've been pretty smooth ever since as far as our time together. So that's a win there. And that's how I was kind of gentle with myself. It was just recognizing the issue and then getting into finding a solution for it quickly. Okay, so that means I'm on number 3. So days 10 to 13, I got into a pretty overactive thinking ahead frame of mind this week. So I would say, I really recognized it was a problem and that I needed to give myself some space to just let go of those vices that I had that I talked about in later little embarrassing moments. And let go of the social media, let go of the media, let go of any of my worries about what's going on after the 1st. The lockdown is supposed to be released on the 31st. And I started already thinking about, well, what if they don't release it? What are we going to do? And even though it's very important to have a plan, it's not a good idea to obsess over it. And I didn't realize that I was really in trouble with doing it until 3 days in of thinking of just worrying, being kind of a worrywart. So, I put in place. I need to make sure I stay on my exercising and eat healthy and get good rest and lay off the drinks and all that stuff to help me ease my mind and remind myself to be gentle with myself. And if you listen to the episode right before this, it's when I introduced meditation on this podcast for the first time. It's a regular practice of mine, and I had to lean on the book by Pema Chodron, When Things Fall Apart, for a little guidance, actually, to pull myself out of this. So once I recognized it, I was okay with that and moved into getting some help, some outside help and guidance and advice so that I could pull myself out. And I'm feeling a lot better now. Okay, so number 2 is, and this one was really sad. So number 2 is on day 3, getting frustrated on the first couple of days with Bodhi's demands while I'm working. So this kind of expands on what I said in number 6 is like I was just being the wrong kind of mama bear about my work time. And I felt really icky about the lost patience that I had with him the first couple of days. And I realized like, oh, this routine is not working. He's not getting his cup filled with attention before I move into working. And so recognizing that this was a problem and instead of beating myself up about it, finding a solution really helped. And then number 1, I don't even want to share this one with you guys. I don't know. Okay, so at number 1, on days 3 and 4, my routine was to go to quote unquote the bathroom and lock myself in the bathroom and just hang out and hole up on my phone or hole up just sitting in there to get some quiet time away from everybody. I'm kind of an introvert by nature. I like to have my space and my quiet and my aloneness. It's really important to my health. And so on days 3 and 4, I was not being mindful of that. And so I was holding myself up in the bathroom and sitting on the toilet. And I gave myself hemorrhoids by sitting there too long. So that's number 1. So you guys done that to yourselves? Gosh, holding yourself up on the toilet. I mean, I know that's like the ongoing joke, but anyway. Yeah. So going through all of these, notice how some of them are kind of like some of them I'm hurting other people. I'm hurting my son's feelings or hurting my husband's feelings. I'm being controlling about my work. I go through those things too. And the really cool thing that that really hung on to me years ago that I heard was a quote by David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done. It's like the number 1 book for people who want to get stuff done. That's where my time management obsession journey started, is with David Allen. And he said something about his own personal practice, his being a time management guru, if you will, since the 80s. He said he messed up all the time, that he would make mistakes and fall off. He said falling off the horse. I wish I could remember the exact quote, but he said something about, I fall off the horse all the time. The only difference is I know how to get back on that horse. So that's where I come in with the stuff that I share on this podcast. It's just knowing when to recognize that the mistakes are there, recognize, okay, it happened and I can laugh about it. It's okay. I'm human, and let it go. Let go of the guilt, because that's not the task at hand here, is not to beat yourself up and make you feel horrible for being exactly what you are, a loving human being. And instead just going, okay, well, how did that happen? What can I do differently? What do I need to put in place in my schedule so that I don't do that? So what do I put in my place into place in my schedule that's going to keep me from sitting in the toilet because I'm an introvert and giving myself hemorrhoids? What am I going to put in the schedule that's going to keep me from feeling overprotective about my work? What was it? It turns out it was actually because I was afraid I wasn't going to get it done. And so once I was able to vocalize that and express that. And if you're feeling the same way, express it to your family and go, I'm feeling like I don't have the time and place to feel accomplished by the end of my day. What do you do to change that? So asking yourself those questions, asking yourself, why did I get frustrated with my child? Why was he frustrated and angry with me? Why was she frustrated and crying with me? What is it that I need to put into place so that we all feel like our cups are full with the attention that they deserve, the love that they deserve? You feel like you're fulfilled as a parent, that you gave them the the adequate attention and they seem like their cup's full, so they're off into independent play happily. Once that happens, trigger, that's when it's time, like you can go ahead and move into working. So figuring out the biological clocks of when that time is required, then you could start, putting that schedule in place to really create that healthy, harmonic environment for both of you to feel like you had a good, fulfilled day. And then also, just having the recognition of when you make mistakes and you don't take care of your personal hygiene because we're just sitting around in our pajamas all day at home, recognizing what are the things that you need to do. Do you need to go ahead and get dressed for the day? Do you need to go ahead and just decide, make the decision? That's key, is deciding that you're going to take better care of yourself. You're going to get those workouts in and schedule them in. You're going to brush your teeth in the morning, every morning. So I hope that this helps to help you understand what it means to be gentle with yourself. And please go to raisingkindness.org and share. Maybe you have something that you're feeling a little icky about that you want to let go, something that's a little embarrassing that you're okay with sharing. Let's come together as a community, because I can't keep doing this without you. I need you. So go to the raisingkindness.org website and share with us, what is your most embarrassing thing? I went first just now with 10. So just share one, because maybe we can all come together to help each other feel a little bit better about all those little mistakes, so we can still continue to thrive despite of our own feelings of being a human being and the things that we do as humans, and we could just enjoy and embrace those mistakes. All right, thank you so much, friends, and I look forward to talking with you next time.